Oh, hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Josiane. Welcome to the channel, and today we are going to have another 100% English video. And since today is the Teacher's Day, I'm going to tell you a little bit how I became an English teacher. So this video will be a little bit different from the other ones I'm used to recording. And this is also an opportunity for you to practice your listening skills and also get some vocabulary and see the way I speak English. So grab some coffee and enjoy this English video. Well, if it's your first time on this channel, welcome aboard. My name is Josiane. I'm an English teacher and translator, and I've been teaching English for over 15 years. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit how things happened and when I started teaching, the way it happened, when I realized I was going to teach English. So stay till the end. All right. Well, I am 37 years old. And I started teaching in 2008 when I was 21, right? I'm horrible at math. But I started studying English when I was 9 years old, on August 4th, 1997, to be more precise. I was 9 years old, I was studying at a public school, and I got this scholarship to study English at a private English school. So I started studying when I was 9, and I finished the course when I was 18. So I studied 9 years in a row. I studied at CCAA, so you may be familiar with this name. This is a very well-known English school we have in Brazil. I finished the course around 2006. So from 2006 to 2008, I dedicated myself to study English books, to read, to improve my vocabulary. And in 2008, I applied for this job position as an English teacher. It was to teach at a school called Wise Up. You may also be familiar with that name. And I had no experience at all. I had never been abroad. I had never taught English before. So that was my very first English experience. And the coordinator back then gave me this opportunity, and I'm really grateful. Her name is Mariana. I haven't seen her anymore since then. But anyway, she gave me this first opportunity. I started teaching in 2008. And I've been teaching since then. When I started studying English, it was not common and most people couldn't afford it. So the most important course at that time was a typewriting course. So obviously when people knew I was studying English, everybody was like,
hey, what are you talking about? Study English? That doesn't make any sense. It's a waste of money.
But thank God my parents didn't hear to any of these comments, and they kept paying the whole course for me, and they kept motivating me, and eventually I finished the course. So I'm grateful for believing that the English course could change my life, and it changed. Today, teaching English is my bread and butter, and I fully dedicate myself to it. Well, I'd say that the biggest challenge of my career as an English teacher was in the very beginning when I started teaching, because I knew nothing about methodologies. I knew nothing about how to use a course book. There were lots of vocabulary. I had no idea what they meant. So what I did was to study really hard to try to understand how things worked and to give my best in all classes I taught. And eventually I realized my vocabulary improved, the way I communicated improved as well, and I was able to communicate myself more clearly and more confidently. And that sentence, the more you teach, the better you learn, is 100% true. I saw that happening with me. So the more I taught students how to use a grammar topic, or when I explained them a word they didn't know, I was learning too. I was doing some research, I was learning. I was looking up the words on the dictionary, and I was learning. Whenever they asked me something I didn't know, I had to look for it and bring the meaning back to them. So I kept learning and learning and learning, and I started realizing that that was really good to me, and that was my true passion in life. I love to teach, and I had no idea until I started hearing some feedback from the students. Hey, the way you teach really well. You are patient with your students. The way you explain, I can understand everything you say. So that was really meaningful to me, and it helped me and motivated me to keep studying, giving my best in all classes I had. And I think a turning point in my life was in 2020, the first year of the pandemic, when everything shut down. So at that time, I had been working at a company as an import analyst, and I used to teach at night. So I used to work full-time at a company and to teach English at night. So I had a lot on my plate, and I started in 2020 also producing content for Instagram, and clearly I was biting off more than I could chew. So I couldn't handle everything, and I decided to quit the job I had and dedicate myself 100% to producing content. So I started my YouTube channel, and I've been posting videos since then. I had a 1-year break from 2021 to 2022, around that time, I guess. It was when I was studying for a certificate for English teachers, a really important one. That was another big challenge I had. I think maybe the hardest one, because at that time my son was 5 months old only. So I was dealing with knowing how to be a father and having to teach and having to do a lot of assignments for this certificate I wanted to have. So that was a really hard moment, but I got it. I got the best grade at the certificate, and in my point of view, I've become a good father as well. So there is nothing so much special about my story on how I became an English teacher, but if it can inspire you somehow, is that sometimes you will believe you won't learn, you won't speak English. You say, this is so hard, I'll never speak English, I'll never speak fluently, I'm shy. Whenever I listen to someone talking to me, I get stuck, I can't answer. But do not give up. I know this sounds a little bit of a cliche, but you've come this far, so giving up is not an option, man. So follow a YouTube channel, follow a teacher you like. It doesn't need to be me, it can be whoever you want on YouTube. Talk to your friends who also learn English, interact with them. Today we have a lot of English communities, or you can start your own community on WhatsApp, on Facebook. Interact with people, share your difficulties, learn from them and hear from them how they overcame their difficulties. So when you put that all together, you see the results will show up. I know it's hard. Studying a second language, which is not your native one, it's really hard. But take a look at how many people have achieved that. Why won't you do the same? So if I can give you some advice, is write your whys. If you have strong whys, that will make easier for you not to give up along the way. When I started my YouTube channel, my son was 1 month old, and my why was, I want these videos I'm producing right now to be useful for my son and for my son's friends in the future. I want to leave a legacy for them. I want to help them somehow. So write your whys. Why do you want to learn English? What's your main goal? Is it traveling abroad? Is it speaking with your friends? Is it being able to read a magazine article? Is it to understand your favorite TV series? It doesn't matter what your goal is. It needs to have a meaning to you. So focus on what you want, keep learning, keep taking notes, keep practicing, and it takes time and patience. You are not going to learn English overnight. If you hear otherwise, please don't believe that. You have to work hard. There are a lot of videos on my YouTube channel, so binge watch them, take a look to the ones that you like the most and watch them over and over again. Watch other YouTube videos from other English teachers. But do not give up. Just keep going and going and going and moving forward. And another important detail, no, I've never been abroad to study English. I learned English just by living in Brazil, studying at a public school, being born and raised in a low social family. So you can learn English. Whether you have money or not, whether you will travel abroad or not, whether you can afford an exchange program or not. Of course, traveling abroad, having money to pay for private classes and for an English course is amazing and much better. Just go for it. But if you can afford one, I'm sure you can learn just studying by yourself. I'm here to help you. So write on the comment section down below. When did you first start to study English? And what's your biggest difficulty while you're learning? What do you struggle the most with? Leave your comments down in the comments below so I can know a little bit more about you as well. And I hope you enjoyed this video so far. My name is Josiane Arocete. It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'll see you around.